Okay, Pish. Well, we were just talking about Weltman making some moves in the offseason. So we've got Brett James here, formerly of Orlando Magic HQ. I don't know if he's still doing reporting there or not, what's going on, but he has a post here on Twitter. Realistic players the Magic should target this offseason. At the top of the list, there's Anthony Simons, Kobe White, Colin Sexton, Malik Beasley, Naz Reid, Cam Thomas, Ty Jerome, Lauri Markkanen, Gary Trent Jr., Luke Kennard, Keon Ellis, Chris Boucher, Sam Merrill, Jonathan Kuminga. Anyone there raising an eyebrow for you, Pish, that you would like
in
to
a
see?
positive way or a questionable way?
Well, hey, both. You know, we're that type of show.
Naz
right?
Reid, I don't think Naz Reid is not going back to Minnesota, but if he's not, hi, Naz.
Yeah.
Let's hang. I love Colin Sexton's game. I like Kobe White as well. I've come around at least enough on Anthony Simons because he shoots the basketball at a high rate. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I think we all would expect him to all of a sudden become that third guy that I was talking about at the beginning of the show. And I don't think he's that guy, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I don't hate it.
This is him versus the
Luke
Magic
Kennard
here. 19 points
Luke
for him.
Kennard would be a good filler,
That's
like one of those
a
guys
guy
on the Pistons I was talking about that just kind of comes in, can fill it up. I like Jonathan Kuminga if no one's going to respect him, but I think there'll be other teams that will probably push his price too high.
Okay. This is
I like Kuminga better than I like Wendell.
Okay. I feel like Golden State fans feel the same way about him as we do Wendell, perhaps.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's swap.
Yeah. Who knows? Sometimes a new setting is all that matters. I don't know. Kuminga, isn't he just a 3-4? Those are where our two best players already play. I want a guard and I want better big man play. This Anthony Simons, this is his highlights versus the Magic. This is from Ray Shard. 19 points he scored against us, almost 5 assists, almost 3 rebounds a game. His true shooting percentage was the 4th highest in clutch time in the league, and he made 215 threes this year, 17th in the league. So that's someone that is very attractive to me. I was a little cold on it. I wanted someone with a little bit more on the ball stuff, but I've been watching a little bit of Anthony Simons, granted highlights, but he does have a little bit more dangle than I thought. He's got a little bit more handle than I thought. And so I would love to see this kid on the team. The problem is the Portland Trailblazers also suck at shooting. And they're not going to want to give up one of their best shooters who, okay, maybe he doesn't match exactly the timeline of Scoot Henderson and what was the other guy they took from Kentucky who never played. But he's not exactly there. Shaedon Sharpe, thank you. But he's only like 4 or 5 years older. Like he's not an eternity older. Yeah. He's still a young player who could play with those guys and have those 3 as guards. I don't know. I hope they're trying to turn the page in Portland. I just don't get the vibe that they are, because that would be awesome for us. He's 25, so he's probably a little bit better with our timeline. He's great on the perimeter. He can shoot the 3. So, hey, if the Blazers are selling, bring him over.
When I said I don't need someone to knock my socks off, that's now why I'm willing to accept Anthony Simons in here, because the average basketball fan doesn't know who Anthony Simons is. We only know who he is because he's an Orlando area product. He happens to be on the Blazers, and when you look at his stats, you're like, oh, he's actually all right. But the average basketball fan doesn't know him because you don't see the Blazers. You don't see him doing anything because Dame's not on that team anymore. And he's not that sexy name that you'd be bringing in like the Horace Grant or the Rashard Lewis that like, oh, okay, here we go. So, and that was back when I wanted something sexy, but now I'm willing to keep my socks on and accept some guys who can put the basket, put the hoop, the ball goes in the basket. I can't.
Okay. We get it. No, it's like we've been at the bar for a long time and our standards are dropping. Like we're just ready to walk out with somebody.
Exactly. You are correct, sir.
And that's why, hey, you Colin Sexton? You're looking sexy over there, Sexton. You come over here. Because if we can't get an Anthony Simons, I think you can get a Colin Sexton for cheaper. And, I mean, we just need a little bit of a pressure valve release on some of the ball handling creation stuff and some 3-point shooting. And I think he can bring that with a cheaper price tag. That might honestly be the better get for us.
Could be that, but he's going to have a high price tag, I think.
Maybe.
I don't like his attitude, but you know what? His play is great. So
maybe a little too high.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure someone's going to overpay him, and more power to him. But
that would be awesome to get like a Colin Sexton and like a Luke Kennard, like you said. Like maybe not all the sexy names, but just like a few.
And then like, I'm going to go home with those 2 9s. That's crazy. When I walked in here, I saw a bar full of 5s and 6s, but now it's on.
See, we're desperate. Just help us. Just give us something, Jeff. Oh God. Okay, so trade targets, Pish. We have to talk about your old stomping ground. Yes. Pish used to be in Milwaukee. Yes. And here we have a picture of Brook Lopez and Giannis on some type of amazing ride. What is that? Oh, that's the Harrison Ford Tron. Right?
Tron, yeah.
Is that it?
Ooh,
Tron. On the Tron on the Tron ride at some park. I don't like roller coasters, people, so you can chime in the comments and let me know what fucking ride that is. And Giannis, out of all the cities you have ever been to, which city made you the happiest to be there? Not counting your hometown. Giannis says Florida cities. And with Giannis, potentially on the move, what do you think, Pish? Yeah?
I'm saying I saw a lot of talk about this on X, aka Twitter, and people were like, "Oh, well, we'd have to give up Franz, or we'd have to give up this, that, and the thing." Well, you don't know. You don't know exactly what we'd have to give up. And also, by the way, if you think about it from clearly a business standpoint, if we had to give up Franz and some other things and replace Franz with Giannis Antetokounmpo, isn't that one of the only replacements you'd accept?
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, we'd be mad about it and we'd miss Franz, of course. But like, honestly, that's sort of like when the Broncos were like, well, we got to get rid of Tim Tebow, but the fans love him. We got to get Peyton Manning. It'll make things okay. No one will be pissed about it. And no one was.
That's true.
Everybody totally forgot about it. So if you're going to replace a fan favorite, you've got to come with something big. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is definitely that. I think that's not happening. I don't even think we're probably in the running for that, nor do I think Milwaukee would want to give him to any Eastern Conference team. I feel like he's going so west that I feel like he's coming down here to Texas with me.
Ooh.
I think Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas are the 3 main landing points for him, and maybe we'll see him in the DFW. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to. I pour a little water on this. I don't even want to contemplate it. I think you're right. Objectively, Pish, if I have to, if you're forcing me, if you're strapping me down and giving me some type of truth serum, and you say, "Oh, you motherfucker, Giannis for Franz and some shit. How do you feel?" I would probably be like, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, that's the biggest compliment you could get as a player, right? If you're Franz Wagner and you get traded for Giannis, like, shit, man, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen, because I really would like to see our 2 pillars in Franz and Paolo play together and grow together and get that kind of slow burn, get it going. I think this is too much of a win now move. This is not the win now that Weltman is alluding to. I think that it's win now around Paolo and Franz, and I think you're right. The Rockets have probably more young assets they're willing to get rid of and more picks. And I mean, shit, you talk about picks and some contracts to be able to match stuff. Oklahoma City Thunder, that would be some crazy shit if they go and win a chip and then get Giannis. That would be a la the Warriors getting Kevin Durant. Like, that would be some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's definitely a lot of other teams that are going to have more to offer. So regardless of the relationship he has with Weltman and his love for Florida cities, I think he's he might be out of luck there. And he could be talking about Miami. I haven't been to Miami, but I've heard the beaches are lovely. So we don't necessarily know. Maybe he's a big Jacksonville guy. I don't know.
That would fucking suck if he ended in Miami. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. But I mean, you wouldn't like Giannis if, say, in your magical kingdom. Okay, you see what I did there? You'd be able to keep Franz, so you have Franz, Paolo, and Giannis. Is that even that's not even a functional basketball team, is it really? Isn't that just what we kind of did this time? We're just going to
Well,
we might as
yeah,
well put on
there's
football
still not
helmets and just run at them in the
right.
lane.
Well, yeah, but there has to be 3-point shooting. The other two players on the court would have to have 3-point shooting. It would mean you'd have to find something else for Suggs to do. You might have to play Cole more. Anyone who could
Luke
shoot the three
Kennard.
would then have yes, they would have to have 3-point shooters at the 1 and the 2. There could not be just one out there because
Yeah.
if they're going to be going that hard in the paint, you've got to be able to kick to somebody, right? I see Giannis in that. He may have to play the 1 if that was the case, but I don't hate it. I love the idea of having 3 great players like that on the court, but at some point you still need to have 3-point shooting. We need guard play. And I made this point to you earlier. It's really strange when you think about the 2 guys who we feel like are untouchable on our team, right? They're untouchable. We love them. We want them on the squad forever. But we still need a point guard and we need a big man and we also need 3-point shooting. So it's like, those are big holes. Those
Yeah.
are really big holes. So like just feeling good about those 2 things being laid down is cool, but like they're not really 3-point shooters. So they're not,
Yeah.
Franz shows flashes from time to time and Paulo's getting better at it.
Yeah.
It's not really their game when they need to be able to have options of guys to throw it to that can hit those threes. And this year that didn't happen. I mean, think of how many more assists those 2 guys could have had if they were kicking to guys who could actually hit threes.
Yeah.